Hits Club podcast and break room show for sports card and hobby enthusiasts. Brought to you by Piece of the Game. And now, here's your host, First Pitch Mitch.
Welcome everyone and happy Friday. This is Monster Hits Club videocast / podcast / break room show. I am your host, First Pitch Mitch, aka Money Mitch P, and I have my co-host with me, Quarantine Steve. Steve, have you got a new nickname yet?
I have not. How are you, Mitchell?
I'm doing good. How are you? You there?
It's cutting out a little bit.
You're cutting out. Not me. You. As everyone knows, if you watch the first 8 episodes, this is episode 9, and we have a good topic today. Steve picked it out. I'm behind him 100% that we have to address this topic in the sports card industry / hobby right now. It's one of the hottest things going, and that is Topps 2020, or the Topps 2020 project. And I know you got a lot to say about this, Steven. I'll turn it over to you in a second. But as you guys know, he cuts out a little bit once in a while because he is on FaceTime. Quarantining in New York still. We thought Phase 2 was going to... I don't think it started here yet. I think it starts like in another week. So it's probably...
I'll tell you my story while I was trying to contact you while you were playing Pizza Show.
Well, it will be about a month until we're probably in the same room. And who knows? Like many businesses who are now taking this and saying, hey, you guys, we kind of like you working at home. Maybe we'll keep this format. We don't know what we're going to do yet. But Steve, tell me, why were you trying to call me while I was making pizza for my family on this fine Friday?
So you know my classic eBay emails that I...
Oh, I can't wait to hear this one.
The email tonight.
Okay.
A gentleman emails me. He says, quote unquote, can you please take the card out of the penny sleeve and top loader and place at a 45-degree angle so I can see the shine of the card? He
wanted to test the glossiness of the card.
Yes.
And was very precise with saying, hey, let's... It's kind of nuts, man.
And what does...
Wow.
What do I do to those eBay bidders that do that?
Block them.
Block them.
Very nice. I need to add myself to the screen here while I'm talking. Here we go. Hang on one second, my friend. That was the wrong one. I am messing around with stuff on the screen, and I definitely chose the wrong thing. Okay. So let's delete that. So I have up on the screen now, Steven, the official Topps Project 2020 page. I'm just fiddling around with the camera here so I could try and get myself also on the screen here. And existing, is this mic? There we go. Okay, so now people could see me, my beautiful face, as well as the Topps, the Topps good stuff. All right, so what I have on the screen now is the official Topps Project 2020 stuff. And just in case you didn't know what it's about, because to be honest with you, I didn't know very much what it was about. We can look at the archive here. But what I did know about it was it's 20 iconic cards from 20 artists. So they're basically going to roll a pair of cards out every day. And the artist creates a rendition of a iconic Topps card over the years. And I believe it's 20 cards per 20, like 20 times 20. So what is that, 400? I think that works out to be.
400
so it's going to be a 400 card set.
It makes me a little nervous that I don't know if I want to see 20 different renditions of the exact same card, but
yeah,
I love that.
I see what you're saying.
And to my knowledge, Mitch, there hasn't been any duplicates of the same card by 2 different artists as of yet, correct?
I'm not sure. I don't even know that much about it, and I will I'll go on the record and say the first one that I ordered, there is a nasty storm rolling in right now, by the way.
Yes, there is.
Oh my gosh. Holy cow. I got the window open right here in front of me, and there is a nasty little thunderstorm rolling in. It looks nasty. Who knows? Sometimes they just blow over. But the first one I purchased was this guy right here. And the reason why I started purchasing them is because I've been following them. A lot of people I follow on Twitter have been, that's all I've been talking about lately are these 2020 cards. And some of them I like, some of them I don't, but my wife's big into art. I've become more of a art enthusiast over the past couple of years, especially with being a part of Piece of the Game, which they incorporate, art with collectibles or memorabilia. These kind of struck a nerve with me, or a chord with me, I would say, that I kind of liked them, but I didn't think that I thought they were just something that was going to be cool for somebody to collect when they saw like a card that they owned as a kid, and then an artist did a cool variation of it, and they were going to purchase that. Like, as a Mets fan, this set, spoke to me. I was a big Ken Griffey Jr. fan growing up. I remember this card, owning many of them. And the Nolan Ryan card, obviously being a Mets fan, this set spoke to me, And I'm sure that there was others that probably came out before this, but this one kind of like, I hadn't really looked at them up until this point, if that makes sense. And the phone's ringing. Unbelievable. All right. Forgot to turn the phone off. House phone's ringing. It's the police saying you should have bought Topps 2020 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and now you're in too late. No, but honestly, I didn't know that. I don't think anyone did. I think they were buying them because they were cool, and now, the earlier renditions, because I think there was a large portion of us that said, I'm not going to buy those because I'm just not into it. Now the people that did buy them are sitting on, quote-unquote gold mines from back then. The earlier issued ones were very short printed and not because they just short printed them, because nobody was buying them. Let's be real. Nobody was ordering them, so Topps printed less of them because they only print the amount that people order. So the reason why there's such a low print run is because nobody ordered them. But let's be real. Now there's a ton of people ordering them because they see the earlier releases blowing up, and now we see the Ken Griffey Jr. card, which the one I just showed you, which was one of the first ones I ordered, is close to a 100,000 print run, which, by all standards, that's not a very rare card. It's probably not going to bring tons of value, but the thing about it, Steve, it's still, they are not printing any more of them. So that while there is 100,000 out there, there's only 100,000 out there, if that makes sense. We know that that is the number. It still is a very high number. It's not a very rare card, but we know that there's not going to be any more created after this. So is there future value in some of these cards? That's yet to be seen. But what is your take on this project?
I very much like the premise of the set.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they take the print run based on how many are ordered. I like that I think that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
I like the idea of making you go to the site every day. I think that's brilliant.
Yes, it's a draw to their site for sure.
Yeah, it draws attention to the site. It's something to look forward to every day. It's an affordable cost for an encapsulated card, especially compared to what you're looking at on Panini's site.
Yeah.
I think some of the cards are frankly god awful, but
I agree.
I like the premise of the set. I think there's going to be a lot of set collectors that are going to be looking for this. I think while the individual cards may not bring exorbitant value over what you paid for them, I think overall someone that's going to be able to build a set of these, I think that's going to be a really nice thing to sell or just to keep.
Yeah.
This is something I'd almost like to keep for my
personal
collection.
Exactly.
Obviously, we could get to the Trout and the Ichiro that are, I had told you before, Mitch, are going for higher than their PSA 10 counterparts.
Yeah.
Of the senior rookie, which is insanity to me. But I mean, overall, I mean, you bought that Griffey for $20. If you keep it, you're not. I mean, that's not setting you
I got
back
the pair for 30. I got it for 35 the pair. But let's look at some of these because
the pair, but it's 20 for just if you just wanted the Griffey.
So if I'm scrolling
That's
through
the same
some
as
of
a
these,
blaster box, Mitch.
no, I know. I like I said, I kind of like the project. I don't know if I would have chose some of the cards that they picked. I actually like the Mariano Rivera by Sophia Chang better than the regular Mariano Rivera card. Here, I'll show it to you, Steve. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, but like the art that she did on it itself, like instead of him standing there in like his suit, like I thought that added to that card. See, I mean, some of these I like a lot. Some of the cards I'm like, why did they choose that card? But I think they did a good job picking, like the Ricky Henderson card, the Don Mattingly. What else? The McGuire 87 Tops. I would have picked the USA card for that one. And I think somebody did a USA version of that.
Mitch, I could bet you every dime in my savings right now, there's going to be a top.
2021? Well, with the popularity of this, why not? I mean,
this isn't going anywhere.
No. Where is that one? The McGuire art card, I think, is fantastic. I mean, some of these are really nice. But the McGuire, I'm sorry, the USA art card. I kind of like this Mattingly here by King Saladin. I think that's a cool card. But like some of them, I wouldn't have bought anyway. Like if you didn't tell me that these cards were worth, some of them are worth like 10 times what people paid for them, I wouldn't buy them because it didn't appeal to me.
10 times. Some of them are worth.
No, I'm just living like on an average. Some of these are like 10 times more. I wouldn't have bought a lot of these cards because, like this Bob Gibson here, I know that some people really like Keith Shore's art, but like that to me is almost an insult to the card. It's almost an insult to the card, if you ask me.
It's comical.
That's an insult to the card. I get his art. I understand that's his style, but I almost feel like, nah, I would have picked a different artist for these cards. Like,
I'm not a huge fan of any one of the cards that have the cartoonish features.
Yeah.
I know you like the Griffey, but I don't know if that's so much of you being a Griffey fan or you being a fan.
No, it was a Griffey fan, and some of the cards. It's starting to rain now. It's pouring. Holy smoke! Some of the cards that he drew remind me of RBI baseball. So this one doesn't, though. Bob Gibson does not remind me of RBI baseball. It reminds me of something that
honestly like something
like literally that a child could have made. And I know I've seen some people saying, and that's what some art looks like. Like I said, my wife's into art. She's an artist, and she shows me some stuff that other artists do, and I'm like, I could be an artist. You know what I mean? Like, it makes you think you can be an artist. But, you know, who knows? You know, like, some of these cards are really like that I like that Ricky Henderson there, right there. That McGuire, I don't know. Some of these cards don't even look like anyone did anything to them, too. So I don't even know.
Here's the thing, Mitch, and I'm getting, just to go back to what I was saying. So right now there's, 90 outs? You have, 4 of each out right now? Is this really going to keep people's interest when it's the 18th version of the 87 McGuire? That's the only problem with something like this, where you only have 20 cards.
Yeah, it's the same card
over and over and over.
It's kind of cool that you get a different artist perspective and style on the card, but I see what you're saying. Here's the one. I love this McGuire one. This McGuire one might be my favorite in the whole.
That's a solid.
I like it. I mean, I like that card. I like everything about it. I don't know how else to explain it. That card is nice to me. I would have purchased, you know, had I been quick enough or known that it was released, I would have, and it wasn't too long ago, according to, you know, where we are in the course of it here, because it looks like it was maybe last week and I missed it, but I just wasn't looking for it. I wasn't looking at them. But what other Topps cards, excuse me, would you have chosen instead of some of these also? Like
52 top. 52 top.
How's there a mantle not in this? Right?
Yeah, did not have a 52. I mean, that's why what I'm saying is you have to expect that there's going to be a 2021.
But
there's a lot of cards out
yeah,
there.
I guess they didn't want to take all the cards, that the absolute epic cards from the Topps throughout the years and throw them all in 2020. And then have nowhere to go. Maybe they already have plans for 2021 that we don't know about yet. But
because there's a lot, you can think of 20 guys right off the top of your head that don't have any cards in this. That you could easily do this over. You could probably do this 3-4 years in a row, maybe more than that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
And what was I going to say? And I think a lot of people had that same concept. I saw it on social media, like, oh, they forgot this card or that card, or I would have used this card, or I would have used that card. And there's a lot more cards, like the Chipper Jones. What is that? The 91 Topps, where he's standing there with the bat on his shoulder.
The draft pick card?
Yeah, that one comes to mind. There's so many that come. The Albert Pujols. If you're going to start mixing Bowman in like you did for Mariano Rivera, I think you got to throw that Albert Pujols first Bowman card in.
And then you have guys that have incredible popularity. Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
Guys like that.
Now, which Bo Jackson? I would use the 87 Future Stars. So that card did come up, and some were saying the 86 with the black border.
I would
just
use
the face.
To me, the 87. The 87 is more iconic.
Yeah.
The Future Star card is a more iconic card,
yep.
So I can see why you would lean towards that. But I don't know why you wouldn't go with the 85 McGuire. That's arguably the most
the US
card of the decade.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying too. The USA, that McGuire card is you got it. Us growing up, that was like the creme de that, and the Canseco 86 Donruss, I think, were like the two most popular baseball cards that I can remember from being like between the ages like 5 and 10. Like everyone wanted that card.
Yeah, and the 84 Mattingly's were right.
Yeah,
there
the 84
too,
and the Donruss 84 Donruss. But yeah, you're right. And before Strawberry and obviously Gooden had their fall from grace, those cards were amazingly. And being a Mets fan, I mean...
that little group of Sandberg, Boggs, Wynn, Strawberry, Gooden, and Mattingly was like, that's what everybody was shooting for.
Yeah. And I thought Ricky Henderson was not as popular back then when I was younger. It wasn't until more recently that I started to appreciate the Ricky Henderson rookie card, because growing up, I guess he was before, like maybe right before I really started, like, I really picked up probably with like Gooden and Mattingly, like 84-ish is when I remember like seeing cards from and really connecting with them, because the Ricky Henderson card I never really saw it, I guess, growing up, because we weren't pulling those out of packs, because it was what is that, 81 or 80?
80.
Yeah,
80.
so 80. Like I was 2 years old. You were 1 year old. So
1 year.
We weren't pulling cards out of packs, and my father wasn't a big collector or anything like that. Like I just fell in love with cards just from loving sports. So I wasn't brought into the hobby where my father had a bunch of cards and he was showing me, hey, look at this card, look at that card. I didn't have that. So I didn't know about I didn't know about anything before those, like I just said, those Dwight Goodens, those Don Mattingly's, but anything before that I really didn't know. Probably didn't even know like Tony Gwynn. I didn't even know like anything about those cards. Or I know who Tony Gwynn was, obviously, but not rookie cards and stuff like that. Like we didn't know about Topps Update. I grew up in the Bronx. We went down to the corner store. We bought packs of cards. We didn't have hobby shops around and stuff like that. It wasn't until later on in life when I moved to upstate, a little further upstate, where there was hobby shops, or at least that I knew, where I could ride my bike to, and that's when I really got into the hobby.
Yeah, and Beckett helped a lot of that.
Yeah.
I mean, without Beckett, it was really hard to know what was out there.
Yeah.
Right now, now it's such a hard thing for someone who's 20 years old to understand. But you would be dying for that Beckett to come out because you had no idea what your cards were worth. You had no idea.
I agree. That was gospel. That was gospel. Like, you went to a card show and the dude behind the counter had the Beckett and you were paying Beckett price.
Yes.
Most likely.
I remember if someone had a sale, it would be half Beckett.
Yeah.
And people nowadays, you could go online and see the last 14 Zions that have sold in the last hour.
Which is the way. I mean, that is technically the way the hobby should run. And when Beckett was making up prices back then, I mean, I don't even know what they based it on because you couldn't base it on sales unless they were basing it on.
That's what they claim. They claim they based it on card show sales.
How do you even track that? That was all under the table cash. Like, unless
ludicrous to even. That's someone in a room just throwing darts against the wall.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous what they used to claim.
Yeah, there's no way they used actual sales unless they had ledgers full of, like, at one card show maybe they were saying, hey, let's track every sale that comes out of this card show. But, I mean, then you're all over the place. You're not going to get a sale from every card. I mean, that doesn't even make that. No, I don't see how that could have worked.
No, it's from
maybe it did, but I don't know. Like, I think it was just literally guessing. I think it was a kind of like what I would do, like, before eBay sales hit. Like, let's say it's a brand new product that comes out. And let's just take 2020 Bowman, for instance. Jason Dominguez, right? We know his cards are going to be on fire because, you know, he's a Yankee, number one. When was the last time Yankees had a prospect of this caliber that they were this hyped about? Probably Brian Taylor, right?
Yeah.
And then a position player, Kevin Mawson, it doesn't even touch him, probably, right?
The Yankees have never had a position. Maybe, I don't know if you remember Ruben Rivera. That's probably the closest.
I do remember Ruben Rivera, and hopefully Jason Dominguez does not turn into Ruben Rivera.
He's not stealing people's equipment. But I would say it's definitely Brian Taylor if you're talking about from a pitcher point of view.
Yeah.
From a player point of view, it's Ruben Rivera, and it's not close to the madness that this is.
Right.
I mean, this is... Wander Franco is a hyped prospect, but it's still not close to Dominguez. I don't know if it's probably Harper. It's probably Bryce Harper if I had to name someone that's been this and we weren't huge into the hobby. And
I agree.
11, so it's hard to say.
And the crazy thing is, and I know Harper had the one MVP year, but I say this about Bowman all the freaking time. I sell these top prospects. I kept one Dominguez. You see it on the table, you know, from earlier when I had the camera up. Now I have eBay up because we're going to look at some of these 2020 sales in a second. But I kept the one first edition. I got it graded, and I'm gonna stash it. But I got a yellow foil. I sold it immediately. Like, these top prospects, I sell them immediately. I might grade it and then sell it, but the odds of these guys keeping... How many guys? I see more guys come from the middle or low tier and make it big than the top prospect that turns out to living up to the hype that they had. Like, Bryce Harper was hot for a long time. People probably spent a shitload of money on his cards. And now,
you know what helped, Mitch,
you could buy those at a fraction of the cost of maybe 5 years ago. Fraction.
You know what's really helped the market right now is baseball. Baseball's going through a weird time right now where almost everyone that was a hype prospect has made it. Acuna made it. Cody Bellinger made it. It looks like Lux is going to make it. It's just been a very strange where there really hasn't been any bust that people have really spent a lot of money.
There are.
Looks like Jimenez and Robert. I mean, there just hasn't been one of those huge busts. Guy that didn't make it, and I think that gives people a lot of false confidence.
Byron Buxton was probably the biggest.
Yeah, Byron Buxton was just
but
as
how
big
many
as
guys live? Not that they're a bust. I'm not saying they're a bust. I'm saying the price that people are paying for these prospect cards now, they almost can't move up from there for the majority of these players.
No, they
can't go up in value because
if you're buying a Wander Franco for $70,000. What could he possibly do in the major leagues that would make that go up?
He literally has to turn into Mike Trout. A Mike Trout type player.
If he turns into Barry Larkin, that card's going down. And
Right.
That's a Hall of Famer, Mitch.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great point. Plus, you got to remember, he plays for the Rays. I mean, who knows if he ever gets traded or what, but that has a lot to do with his... I mean, if Trout was a Yankee, how much would his cards be worth?
I would say probably 30% more.
Right, at least 25% more, I would say, on average. His cards would be worth more. The fact that it's just amazing to me that people still, they have no place to go once you're sinking all this money into these prospect cards. They literally have to turn into Mike Trout, Ronald Acuna, Juan Soto. Like, Juan Soto wasn't a highly touted prospect. He's made it to the big leagues and performed better than probably 90% of the people that came up, you know, when he was signed or drafted that year.
Sure, that's completely true.
I mean, the prospect game is a tricky game, and when you're spending the amount that you're spending on some of these cards, like $25,000 for an orange. I mean, excuse me, it's probably gonna be like $25,000 for the orange Jason Dominguez, if not more.
Where's that gonna go?
If not more. What'd you say?
Where's that gonna go?
Right. He's like 17. He's not going to be... He didn't even play an inning, and there's no minor league baseball this year. So it's going to be extended spring training. So you're not going to really get an update on where his stats are. This is all speculation right now. You're going to have to go based on what the scouts or Baseball America are saying about this guy, because they're probably... I don't know if they're going to keep stats, but in extended spring training... That's just training, pretty much, unless they start playing some sort of games. But it didn't sound like that's what they were going to do. When they say extended spring training, it sounds like maybe they have a scrimmage here and there.
There's not going to be minor league baseball.
No, so you're talking about Jason Dominguez isn't going to play like a real game for another season, if that. Like, how quick is he going to... This is really going to stunt the development of some prospects. Some it may be fine, and they're going to be fine. But this delay, this layoff, where the majority of them, unless you're talking very top name prospects who got a very big signing bonus and can afford to pay for a dope trainer, a facility, and all that shit, the majority of these guys are trying to find a part-time job right now because, you know, the little bit of money that they did get from the minor leagues, they now have to try and pay their rent or whatever, or go out or pay for their training or do this and that. The majority of the minor leagues is filled with guys that were not what I would call a signing bonus baby, where they got a shitload of money and then they could kind of sit back and just train and then make it to the big leagues. The majority of minor leaguers are grinders who are just...
Yeah, I wouldn't... Jason,
and a ton of them are getting released over the past couple days. So, I mean, it's going to be real interesting to see how this all pans out. And, yeah, somebody may hit the lottery by hanging on to that card. But if I could get $30,000 for a card now, do I care if he becomes the next Mike Trout and that card sells for $150,000? The risk of him not... it's more likely that he's not going to become that than he is.
You know what this all comes around to? This is all one central theme with cards right now. And this is probably what the true reason why the card market is the way it is. You realize in every sport right now, this is unprecedented in the history of American sports. You realize all four sports are basically in an off season right now. So the eternal optimism abounds. Basically, everyone is living on what they can do right now.
Yeah.
No one's having a bad year. No one's been injured because there's nothing going on.
Correct.
So you have four sports where every superstar, all it is optimism on what they could become.
Right.
That's never going to happen again.
Nope.
So that's why it's really, like, you really got to think long and hard about selling some of these guys, because There's no way that every single guy in every single sport is going to pan out. It's unrealistic.
You know how much I like JJ Bleday. I had his orange first Bowman auto, 9.5. I sold it the minute that this quarantine started. I sold it. Now, he might become an MVP one day. I think he has MVP talent. But how does this year off? And maybe if they extend the rosters, he may be in the big leagues in July if this ever, all these different talks that they're talking about. Oh, there's going to be expanded rosters. So now some of these guys that were possibly going to be in the minors may be in the majors this year if there's a major league season. We just don't know. So I took a risk and said it's more likely that they're not going to play this year and that he's going to go to extended spring training and he's already going to be like 24, 25. And I said, you know what? I'll take the money now. And then if he's an MVP, great. I think he does have that ability. But am I willing to risk that card going backwards when I could get what I could get for it right now? No. I want to get what I could get for it right now. And that's a flip mentality. But like I said, I'm holding a ton of mid-tier prospects or lower-tier prospects because my perspective is you flip the big guys immediately and you hold on to those mid-tier guys that, yeah, you could get $30 for his auto right now. And even if he doesn't pan out, am I going to get mad in a year if I could get 20 or 10 or if it doesn't sell? No, I'd rather that $30 card turn into the $1,000 card.
Put it this way, Mitch. What's going to make you angrier? If you sell a Bleday for $2,000 and then you could have got $5,000 later, or you sold it for $2,000 and he hits $220 and you get $20 for it.
Exactly. I'm going to be more upset if I didn't flip it right away.
Yes, you are.
You're always going to forget. You're always going to remember the ones that you feel like you got burned by. Like we talk about this all the time. I tell you, when I look at how much Tom Brady rookie cards sell for now, and Phillip Rivers and Drew Brees and all these guys that I had in BGS 9.5s and even probably a couple 10s, and I sold them all when I thought they were at the peak. The Aaron Rodgers, when they were at the peak back in like 2008, 2009. And now I look and I could buy a boat with some of the freaking Bradys that I had. Or a house. I could have paid off my house with the amount of cars that I probably sold if I just held on to them for 10 years. But at the time, I got great money for them. But you look and then you're like, oh, you play that game in your head that, oh my God, if I just held those. But you can't do that. You get the money when you could get it because the time value of money says the money was worth more back then than it would have been now. And also, there's no guarantees. So take the money when you could get it if you're into the flipping stuff or selling.
And you also have to take into account, Mitch, if you're selling a card for $2,000 now, you don't know what that $2,000 can become if you continue in the hobby.
Right. Yeah, you sell the $2,000 and then you slowly reinvest it, buy, and build off it, and you make smart moves.
You turn it to $5 anyway, and you took a much smaller risk.
Right. All right, so now I'm scrolling eBay. We're going to get back to Topps 2020. And the majority of the sales, at least today, I sorted it by completed sales, and wow, there's one up listed for $60,000. What? Didn't I do completed? Why are some of these? Oh, some of them ended without being sold. All right, let me get rid of completed. I just want to do sold. Sorry, hold on. I don't want to see the ones that didn't sell. All right, and we're going to do most recent. So let's see. This guy's already selling the pre-sale of the Jeters from today for less than...
See, this is what I don't understand. How is he selling these, even if he gets them as a pair? How is he making money off pre-selling them for $17.25?
I couldn't tell you that. I have no idea.
So how is there not some sort of backdoor?
Oh, it's still showing me the completed.
That doesn't even make sense.
All right, here we go. All right, ended recently. So we have a Nolan Ryan by F. Dot 183. So that's what, almost 1,000% increase. This one a best offer. And I mean, I could look it up, but I don't feel like looking it up right now. But this guy was asking $1,850 for this trout. 134. Here's a Nolan Ryan, $1,850. That was the recent pre-sale, the one that just came out, I think, 1 or 2 days ago. Here's a Trout Ben Baller, 115. Here's a couple of Jeters, 300 for the pair. 165, 115, 120, 52 for this Trout, 294 for this Jeter. Now, are they coming down in price? I don't know, because I didn't look at what they were selling for.
I think the moral of this whole story.
What's today, the 29th?
I think the people that got in early are the people that are going to make the money.
Yeah.
And I think the people now are just going to get what you paid for. I think if you paid $20 for a Griffey, the resale value is probably $20.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean,
but that's fine. I have no problem with that. I don't think this is a get-rich product to you.
No, I never thought of it that way. That's why I was shocked when it was. And then once people realized what these cards were selling for in the on eBay in the secondary market, is when everyone said, "Oh, I got to get a piece of that pie." But just the fact that now everyone's coming in is going to almost
inherently decreases the value exponentially.
It's going to decrease the value, I think, on the newer cards.
Yeah,
but,
that's what I'm saying.
But I think it's also...
If it brings more attention, it's going to raise price.
It may trickle...
But how did you know? How could you possibly know that, a card with a guy, drawn as a cartoon is going to sell for $2? I mean, you can't predict that. It's impossible.
I know. But, yeah, nobody would have known that. And that's the thing. Like, that's why I think it was so...
But I like the idea of it. I wish there was more of this.
There is. It's called Piece of the Game. It's called Piece of the Game, Steve.
People are so used to breaking and opening packs, and you don't know what you're getting. And it's nice sometimes just to go on and buy a cool card.
Yeah, I agree. There's no doubt in my mind, like, when I come across a cool card, or a card that I really like, I don't look to sell it right away unless I find another card that I'm like, oh, I want that one, or I have an investment opportunity. I think, okay, I'm going to buy these because I think that's going to, go up exponentially, and then I could always buy this cool card that I like back later. Like, still, my bucket list card is still the Upper Deck Mantle Griffey dual autograph. One day I'm going to own that card. I haven't owned it yet, but that's a card that I want. Obviously, the 86-87 Jordan rookie. That's a card I want. Like, there's cards that I want that I don't necessarily think that once I get them, I'm not going to sell them. That's why I haven't got them yet, because I'm still in, like, selling stuff. I don't want to get that card and then say, oh, let me sell this now so that I can buy something else to make some more money. You know what I mean? Like, I want to make sure when I buy that card, it stays with me. I'm waiting for that.
Those cards are solid long-term investments. I mean, those cards aren't going unless the card market completely tanked. Those are recession-proof.
Yep.
So I don't think you could possibly go wrong with one of those cards.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of the set. I like the idea of the print run being set by how many people buy the card. I think that's a really, really cool idea. I like that there's not 75 parallels where you could buy the hyper and the shock and the red wave and blue wave and green wave and laser. I kind of like it's just a card. You could. I don't even like the artist proof that you could buy the silver, but whatever. I like. And then
you see what some of these artist proofs are selling for?
It's a card or a gold, and that's it. I like that.
So, oh my lord. So, okay, this is bananas. On April 12th, I don't even think this is an artist proof. I gotta open this up. The Trout rookie. Oh, sorry, Steve, you can't really see. Can you see that or no? Maybe if I do this way, can you see that better or no? Is that better for you? No, not really. Huh? All right. Well, anyway.
That's better. That's perfect right
this there. Card, it's not an artist proof, and it's the, I don't think it is anyway. No, it's definitely not an artist proof. So we have a remake of the 2011 Topps Update card by Ermsey, and it sold for a whopping $12,500. And he sold 8 of them. 8 sold.
That's incredible.
So somebody bought these got to be artist proofs, right? No, it's not.
Sense.
This is not an artist proof.
It's got to be.
It's not. It doesn't say anywhere on this.
I mean, that's when it just gets ridiculous. That's when it stops making sense.
Maybe it is, and I don't realize it, but it doesn't say it on the listing at all. It literally just says Ricky Card logo, Project 2020 card number 4. And there's one more available. Well, I mean,
there's a legitimate chance that card could be $1,000 in a week.
Here's Topps Project 1 through... No, that can't be right. How is this sold for $12,500?
Yeah,
if this whole set is selling for $12,100. All right, so let's ignore that one. No, this one, best offer. Oh, that's a gold frame. So gold frame. Wow, that's a good one. Jeez, man.
But I thought the gold frames are 1 of 1. So that guy pulled the 1 of 1.
Yeah. Here's an artist proof. 8,500. So these guys or girls with bots are botting up, getting all these cards before you or I or anyone else has a chance to even buy one for $200. And I think when they first launched, they were $100. So this card is now selling for $8,500, and this sold like 4 days ago. So that's absurd.
Who is? Who? If that's not a manipulation, if that's a real bid, Mitch, who is buying that for $85?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like, who are these buyers?
There are people that love art, I guess. I don't know, but I need to understand why there's people spending $8,500 on these and not buying the piece of the game baseballs, which are game-used baseballs signed by the player and then painted on by one of these iconic artists. I don't think Monty did any art for Project 2020, but he was a Topps, master artist for Topps. So I don't understand how people weren't like into the piece of the game as much. I guess people just like cards better. That's the only thing I could think of. Because the piece of the game, when you look at it, it's very similar. You're telling me that a Mike Trout, not even the real rookie card, an artist drew the rookie card, and it boggles my mind. Here's I'm pulling up the Derek Jeter baseball. Derek Jeter baseball, painted by Monty Sheldon. It was a game-used Derek Jeter baseball, signed by Derek Jeter, authenticated, everything. Sells for less than probably a Derek Jeter art card of his rookie card, like a rendition of his rookie card.
Yeah,
where does that even make sense? This is a game-used baseball, signed by the player.
Stopped at their word, and everything only prints right after. That was printed literally a week ago.
Signed by the. I just can't. I don't understand this. I really don't. I don't understand why that would be worth more than a piece of actual history. That's the part that boggles me. Is stuff like that. Like, to me, I'd rather have one of these baseballs. To be honest with you, I know it's a game-used baseball.
Think anyone would rather have one of those baseballs.
Well, obviously,
I don't think you could really. Although, it's not like one person's buying these project cards. They're selling out like. There's a lot of sales on eBay, so it's not like it's one isolated sale. There's a lot of sales.
I know.
So I don't know. I have no justification as to why someone would look at an artist proof card, number to 20, and decide that it's worth $8,500. I can't comprehend that. Basically, for that to hold its value, Topps Project would have to be the biggest thing in the hobby year after year. It would have to retain all this attention, it's impossible. That card is impossible to hold its value. Unless Topps Project became, I don't know, the new Prism. I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, if... Like... And then on top of it, the baseballs are all one-of-ones. Like, there's no second baseball created. Just... To comparison to me...
Think about this. So if every Trout has 20 artist proofs...
Yep.
So that means there's going to be 20 different Trouts in Project.
Yep.
So that means there's going to be 400 artist proofs.
Correct.
So you're telling me one artist is going to be that much more than another artist? Or are they all going to go for $8,000?
I'm sure they're coming down in value now. I didn't scroll down.
Because those are not based on print run, because they're all print runs of 20. So you're telling me that all 20 are going to keep selling for $8,000? That's impossible.
No. All right. Here's what I want to ask. You tell me the truth. I give you an option. In the Topps Project 2021, or let's say it's 2020. Let's say they had an Acuna bat down Topps update art card.
Okay.
And let's say there was 5,000 printed. Now, let's say the card's selling for... I don't even know what the print run is. Let's take the artist proof. The artist proof is, it's numbered to 20. It's not signed. It's nothing. It's an art, whatever artist, the top artist, does his rendition of it. It's there. I'm going to give you $5,000 to spend, okay? You could either buy that card or buy a game-used baseball from Ronald Acuna Jr.'s rookie season, signed by Ronald Acuna Jr., verified with the play and everything, and painted on with the beautiful art. Which would you rather have for $5,000? What do you think holds value and is more valuable as an item in 5 years, let's say?
I mean, no disrespect to the piece of the game. When I say, obviously, the piece of the game is my answer, but there's about 1,000 things I would buy over that.
No, we know that, but if I give you $5,000, the point is, what would you rather have?
The piece of the game.
Yeah, would you rather have the game-used ball, the art? That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to figure out why those cards are so popular, yet the piece of the game art masterpieces don't seem to be as popular when they very well should be. Could it be that maybe just people don't know about it? Or whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, I'd much rather be spending my money on one of these baseballs than one of those cards. That's just me. If I had five...
The only thing I can think of, the only thing that one item has over the other is one has the... not the collectability, the and one as a brand name that's more recognizable. That's really the only thing that the Acuna would have over the piece of the game.
I agree. It's because it's issued by Topps.
Yeah,
I agree 100%. That's the thing. They have the marketing behind it. People know it's a recognized brand.
I've seen the Acuna. The Acuna is really nice.
Oh, you saw it?
Really nice.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
some
my
of these.
Favorite one I've seen so far.
Some of these are really well done.
I haven't seen the Acuna yet.
Here's a Jeter. I mean, there's a lot of them. Some of them. See, I think what they did was there's an action shot and there's like a face shot. There's each player has a couple variations of the baseball, but each ball is a one-of-one from a different game, all signed. I mean, some of them are duels. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, here's a Trout action shot. I mean, these are phenomenal.
It's one thing, Mitch, to sit here and say, some people might not have the money for this product. It's a high-end product, and that's completely fair. But when you see people spending $8,000 for a Mosaic Zion and $8,000 for a Topps Project Trout, and Joe Burrows are going for $3,000, the money is there.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know what people are choosing. I don't know. It's the hobby. Like I said, we've had this conversation before. Some of these items that are selling for what they're selling is quite mind-boggling, and I think a lot of these people, those are the cards that Topps Project card. I mean, it's not going to hold. It's absolutely impossible for it to hold its value. It's not possible.
So
I
you
feel
know,
bad for a lot of these people that are probably going to be sucked into the hobby, and they're spending that kind of money because
there's already people being sucked in. So. And spending their money on stuff that you wouldn't believe. But I think, at the end of the day, I think, like you said, I like the product itself. Do I think it's sustainable? Probably not. I don't think it was designed or created.
I don't think it was designed for that.
No, it wasn't. And you know what's actually kind of cool, what I've been seeing a lot of the artists do is buy a lot of their own product. Then when they get it, they sign it, and then they resell it afterwards with their signature on it.
That's very cool. I have no problems with that.
That adds value to it. I mean, that's a pretty, especially if I'm a fan of the artist. So my question is, if I'm a fan of art, and I guess we would need somebody who's a really diehard fan of one of these artists. I don't know much about any of the artists that were selected. But if I'm a fan of this art, am I buying these cards simply because I like the person's art and don't care anything about the sport?
I can't fathom that.
Or am I a baseball fan or a fan of some of these players that now I'm just trying to buy as many of that card that I think looks cool to me, but I don't really know anything about the artist? Or is it a combination of the two? Because I can tell you right now,
I think it's
my wife's an artist and I don't know anything about a lot of these artists.
Fans of the artists. But for the most part, I don't think that's a prevalent thing that's going on. I mean, I can't picture people going on and spending $8,000 on a one out of, I don't know. That, to me, the art thing would be if it was more of a unique piece or a larger piece. If you're an art collector, what the fuck are you going to do with a baseball card? What are you going to put it on why are you going to display it? What are you going to do with it?
I know with Piece of the Game, that was a lot of the idea
but
was
baseball. That's in a.
I know what you're saying. It's in a case. Item. It's in a case. You could display it. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. The card itself.
To me, it's apples and oranges. What are you going to do with a baseball card?
Well, the only thing I could think of, and if I'm an art collector, what I would do.
Remember, this is from the art perspective.
Right. If I'm an art collector, what I would do is I'd probably buy every card that comes out with the artist that I like, and then kind of frame all of them all together on one, and make like a mosaic out of it. That's the only thing.
Resale.
No.
Would count for the initial sales. I don't think there's anybody doing that. Paying $8.
No, that's the thing. These are not. No, time out.
Maybe I'm very naive.
No, see, you're not naive, because what they're selling is not art. What they're selling is Topps. The people that collect art, for the most part, are probably not collecting those cards because they're not arts. They're reprints.
That's what I'm saying. If you're an art collector, you want something original.
You want the actual art. Right. You want the actual art, not the reprint.
Them selling, like if you told me, I'm sure out there somewhere, or I'm sure Topps might auction them off later, whether it be for charity or
the original
gain. You're going to see the one of ones of whatever the original sketch.
Isn't that what an artist proof is?
No, the artist proof is no. I think the artist proof is just a parallel. It's not original art.
Oh, I thought that's what a proof. I see. That's how disconnected I am from it all. I thought that those were.
You could look that up,
but why would you make 20 originals?
I don't think every artist is making 20.
No, and how could you make 20 originals that look exactly the freaking same?
Yeah,
that doesn't make
that's
sense.
Impossible.
Yeah, something would be slightly
sure
different.
They're doing something with the one-on-ones. They're probably auctioning it off in some fashion, and I could see an art collector paying a ridiculous amount for that. But to pay for a reprint of a I can't see that.
Yeah. Well,
but I feel like we're getting negative about the product, and I really did.
No, we're not getting negative about the product. We're getting negative about how these cards are selling for so much, based on print runs that aren't even that rare. Like they're not. It's not like it's numbered to 10 or 20. There's at least 1,000. I think of every.
The Trout is going for whatever. There's like 1,000 of them. It's not like a rare card.
Yeah.
Not.
What would you rather have, people? The actual Trout rookie card or the artist rendition, which is a reprint? Not even the like. If it was a one-on-one sketch, maybe I would want that. And then even still, I don't think I would over the regular rookie card.
Mitch, some of these are going for more than the PSA 10 version. Sometimes much higher than the PSA 10 version of the rookie.
Yeah.
I can't, in any circumstance, see where that person's coming from.
Yeah.
You know, I thought this might be a product where you buy it for 20, you can flip it for 30. I thought it was that kind of product.
Yeah, I don't think anyone.
You can flip it for 2,000.
I don't think most people are buying them with the idea, except for maybe the guys that went ahead and used their bots to get the artist proofs. I think they knew what they were doing, but for the most part, I think people were buying the Topps Project 2020s because they thought they were cool.
Are the
At
artist
first,
proofs selling out immediately?
Yeah, you can't even get them. Like they're gone. They're in people's. The way the bots work.
So
is,
it's the same as the Panini bullshit.
Oh yeah, the stuff is in. The way a bot works is the stuff is already in the cart.
Yeah, you've explained it.
Yeah,
Well, you can explain it.
somehow the bot bypasses everything, and literally you could put the product in your cart, go to the checkout screen, have all your information in there, then literally all you do is click buy, and it processes your information, and bam, now it's all in your cart, and on its way to your. Before you and me are like, we're just typing we're trying to log in a PayPal and shit. These guys are already have the product on their way to their house. So same thing with Jordan releases. It happens in the sneaker world. Like, you would think that whatever these companies do, the hackers or whatever you want to call them, the bot makers, are always one step ahead. It's very easy to figure out.
I've never seen it as bad as when before Panini, and now the Dutch auctions. That's a whole nother.
Yeah. Well, they do that. They do that to protect, so that people have a shot, because the bots, it confuses the bots.
Yes, it does.
The Dutch auction confuses the bots, but
it
then
also confuses my bank account.
Yeah, but I mean, either way, I'm still shocked. I got the 3 boxes of Bowman from the Topps website last week or the week, whenever that was. I was shocked. I got the email. I was like, Usually I don't even attempt to order it, but I was sitting there with nothing to do. I said, let me try. And it went right through. I was like, holy crap. And it was sold out the minute I was done. I was like, wow, that was amazing. But aside from that, I think the product's pretty cool. I don't know why people are spending what they are on it. Personally, I don't think it's short printed enough. And I don't think it's not original art, people. It's literally a remake of what an artist created. I don't get it.
I would say, I think we both concur. As a product, it's a big thumbs up. It's a cool change up to
Correct.
Normal, buy a brake and pray for, an auto.
Yep.
It's a cool change up, but for investment purposes, I don't. If you want to spend $20, go right ahead. I might do it myself if I find a cool card, but I will not be buying any of these.
See, now what happened with Topps was probably their best case scenario, but now it could turn into the worst case scenario, because what happened was finally people caught on, and they actually started buying these cards. So when the Griffey Nolan Ryan duel came out, and they sold the Griffey 100,000 copies of it. Multiply that by 20. By $20.
Well, do you know what happened? I guarantee you, Mitch, the reason why those Griffies, it was 100,000, is not because they had 100,000 new people. It's because people probably bought 20.
Yeah, they bought multiples, a lot of them.
Yeah.
But Topps.
I'm not getting rid of those things.
Topps made $2 million right there. Boom.
Yep.
On one card.
From a guy drawing an RBI baseball head on Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah, $2 million they made right there. Bam, boom. I mean, I don't even know if they're gonna have enough mags to put all those cards in. I didn't think they expected 100,000 people to order it, but
don't laugh. There's probably gonna be a holdup on. They guarantee you they don't have enough.
Oh, did I tell you my bone? We'll end on this. My bonehead mistake. So, you know this. I don't know if I talked about this on a previous episode, but I decided to start. I did talk about this. So check out my card, comc.com. So I sent them my first order, and I just recently sent them my second order. So combined, you're probably talking between 700 and 800 cards. And I'm on the site the other day looking to see, I was just scrolling looking to see if there's any cards that I wanted to buy, or, see if I had any offers, stuff like that. And I click, oh, no, I was looking for you know that when you buy cards on eBay, I could literally ship them straight from my eBay. If I change the shipping address, you get a mailbox. And all you have to do is change your eBay shipping address to your COMC mailbox, and it ships it right there, and they put it right in your inventory, and then you can do whatever you want with it, so it never comes. So that's what I was doing. So I go on there, and as I'm clicking and looking for this, I find how to ship your cards to us. And it's like, oh, I've shipped cards a million times. I know what I'm doing. I click open, and no, I did not. I wasn't even close. So basically the way I ship the cards, and they probably want to kill me right now, it says like in bold letters, do not ship cards in top loaders. And I shipped them pretty much probably close to 800 cards in top loaders. Now, number one, I'm upset at myself because it says that they charge you a 50-cent surcharge for every card in a top loader to take it out.
Oh.
Not only that, but I'm out.
God, you gotta be kidding me.
I'm out 800 freaking top loaders now that I could have kept. I would have never had to buy top loaders again. Ever, probably. And I'll never get them back.
$400 from that?
What?
So they charged you $400?
I don't know yet. I didn't get the bill, so I'm hoping that they cut me some. I'm hoping that they cut me some slack and be like, this guy's new. He probably didn't know. Let's not. They ain't gonna cut you if I would have known, I would never do that, because I'd rather keep the top loaders. Trust me, I would have rather have kept like 800 top loaders. Like those are like right now, like to try and find them, and we're not really leaving the house as much going shopping, but
it's a pain in the
you
ass.
can't find top loaders really. So like I'm taking cards that when I do my own breaks, and then people send me cards that I'm like, oh, that doesn't belong in the top. Like that's how I'm getting my top loaders now. So I had fucking 800 of them pretty much that I just gave away for free, and I'm getting charged 50 cents per top loader on top of it. So it's like a double whammy. So when you multiply all that out, what do you think a top loader costs? 10 cents maybe?
Probably more than that. Well, I mean, I usually pay because it's usually about $4 or $5 for 25. Maybe like 50 cents.
No, can't be.
Yeah,
so
unless you buy in bulk, yeah. Or if you're gonna order them, they're gonna charge you that, because they gotta ship it to you. If you're not
so you're
buying
telling me basically,
$5-6.
you're telling me basically it's a net loss of $800 right now.
Basically, yes.
So everything I sold.
You get top loaders in a store for $3, but if you're buying them on eBay, they're going to be $5 with shipping, or $6.
So everything I sold on COMC is basically a wash because I sent them top loaders.
Yes, that's the top loader gratuity.
Yes. Oh, wow. So on that note, Steven, good show. I hope you have a great weekend. Topps 2020 project. We think it's cool. We don't think it should be selling for what it is, basically. But hey, to each their own. You guys do what you're gonna do. I respect what anyone does in the hobby. I just wouldn't do it myself. That's the beauty about this. You could spend your own money, but I don't spend other people's money. Do I agree with it? Not always, but it's their money. They could do what they want with it, and I respect that.
And the fun thing about it is, as long as you stay off eBay with this, as long as you're buying directly from Topps, you're not going to go broke, and it's a fun product.
Yeah, it is fun. But aside from that, thank you all for watching. If you are watching, click subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, Monster Hits Club, Facebook group, Monster Hits Club. We got 2020 Jumbo Break close to 2020 Dual Box Jumbo Break close to filling. We'll break it as soon as it fills. I think we got about 10 spots left in that. Let's go a little Jason Dominguez hunting. Even though we just kind of badmouthed them earlier today, you can still make a boatload of money and have fun chasing them in the process. So, Steve, you have any closing remarks?
I don't, Mitchell. I wish you a good weekend, and think we'll get together again on Monday night and come up with another fun topic to talk about.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll think of something over the weekend. All right, guys.